Whoa, there's a tent here.
This is Rudkowski of WeAreChange. Decided to take a day trip up here to Montreal. We are at an illegal border crossing between Canada and the United States where over 10,000 people have illegally turned themselves in to get arrested here to get processed into Canada. Now there's a very extraordinary situation happening here, and to talk about that we have Beacom of Light Taylor, who's joined us on this little road trip, and we're just going to stick to the facts here because, again, it's very strange what's happening here, and there's a lot of circumstances, there's a lot of things to explain, but first of all, a lot of, especially Haitians who lived in the United States under new immigration protection laws that were set up by Barack Obama after the 2010 earthquake in Haiti have allowed a lot of Haitians to live in the United States. Donald Trump has signaled that he will be ending those special immigration programs for these Haitians, and we have seen an influx at this illegal border crossing of thousands of people who are trying to seek refuge from the Canadian government, especially after their Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, set off a lot of tweets and sent out a lot of messages saying that he welcomes anyone and everyone who needs help into his country. And now we have the situation that we're dealing here with. We actually spoke with the police here. We actually spoke to some refugees here. And what do you gather from everything that's happening? What are some of the important facts that people need to understand here, Taylor?
Well, the police, the guy who works for the police, whose job is essentially to talk to people like us, was saying that 2,000 people came last month illegally, and yeah, it's a tough situation. You know, you have almost as an incentive, Trudeau tweeting out that people are welcome here, and a lot of other Haitians and people in America are sending tweets and sending WhatsApp messages saying that people should come here and seek refuge here.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau actually sent out the only Haitian parliament member of Canada down to Miami to counter a lot of the fake news. There's been a lot of fake news, whether it's through WhatsApp or Facebook or even Facebook ads, even radio advertisements saying that Canada is now open. Canada is now allowing refugee seekers, asylum seekers, entry into their country. And what we learned after talking to the police and after investigating this case is that's not true.
Our job is it's a very easy job, if I can say so. So after what's going on after we arrest them, because we know what's going on at the border. People think they can cross anywhere between two ports of entry, but when this happens, we know about this because we have electronic detection, we have cameras. We talk to our colleagues from USA. So we talk to USBP, but we have good collaboration. So when somebody is coming toward our border, they call us, they talk to us about what's going on so we can intercept them. But again, which is very particular in Roxham Roads, that they all come to one point, so we know we can catch them there. But we still do a surveillance of the border, obviously. There was a trend after Christmas in the spring. Yeah, there were more people coming from Asians coming from USA and or Haiti coming toward our borders. There were some big numbers. In July, there were 2,996 arrests at Roxham Road within that month. And we do have some numbers for the first 2 weeks of August, 3,700 interceptions. So that's quite a big number. So we don't speculate on what's going on. Anything can change in the world. Could be bad weather, can be a catastrophe, can be politics. We observe every day what's going on, but we don't speculate about what is coming maybe in the future.
So a lot of people are getting a lot of fake news, a lot of conflicting reports, a lot of messages that they view as optimistically from the Prime Minister here saying, come in, come in, come in. And now in the reality of it, these people are getting arrested. These people are getting their cell phones taken away, looked into. They're getting searched. They're getting processed, immediately apprehended here at this illegal border crossing, which they're choosing to do because of a loophole in the law that specifically states if they illegally cross, they have a better chance of supposedly seeking asylum through this fake news. But in reality, we're learning that 2/3 of Haitian asylum seekers get refused refugee status and they get sent back to Haiti. Any other attributing facts that you think people should know about this case? I mean, we had a very interesting conversation with just two asylum seekers that the Canadian government is even having a hard time dealing with. The Canadian government here has set up this 24-hour center where they are processing people, arresting people, then busing them into stadiums. We were at the stadium yesterday. You actually started to talk to two people who lived in New York ever since they were about 5 years old, and now they're here in this kind of unprecedented legal limbo. Can you tell me more about that conversation you had with those people?
Yeah, so they were the children of Haitian migrants, refugees that had come here. But they didn't come here after the events in Haiti, the earthquake. They came here quite a bit before that, or at least to the U.S. And I had spoken to them, and I had gotten their story, and I sympathized fully. And I had asked them essentially what their status was in the U.S. They were there under temporary status, and I guess they weren't citizens. They weren't. They didn't even have residency. And I wondered to myself, if they were there for 17 years, did they try and apply for citizenship? And they told me no. They told me their parents didn't. They told me that they didn't. One of them was an adult, and they decided to come here after they heard that Donald Trump was going to, by January, revoke the ruling that allowed Haitian migrants to stay, even though they had come here long before that. So.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was a very split decision that a lot of people are making, and I kind of attribute that to the fake news and the fake optimism that Justin Trudeau gave a lot of people here. The one guy that we talked to yesterday didn't even, just left his job, didn't even call and say that he's leaving the country in New York. Wasn't even able to collect his last check. People had to stop going to school that we talked to, and now they're living in this stadium where they're being armbanded with a specific number to themselves. They're giving the same food, living on cots, living in the concession area of this old Olympic stadium under conditions that, of course, they're not very happy with. And then they're going to have to go through this legal limbo, have hearings, which some people say may take up to a year and a half. Now, the people we talked to, they're going to have their hearings in a couple of weeks. But also, there's a lot of pressure on the state here. A lot of people are complaining even on this road about how there's, people bothering them here. A lot of the people saying that they're overwhelmed, that they can't facilitate, that they can't pay for all of this. So what are you seeing on the kind of opposite spectrum of this?
Yeah, some people I've spoken with here are very welcoming. Some aren't. We've heard mixed feelings. I think this really is more of a formality. A lot of these people have been incentivized to come here. They know they're going to get arrested. We know that they know that they're going to get arrested. The police know that as well. But they're not necessarily arrested. They're not handcuffed. They're detained. They're processed quickly. They seem to be looking through their bags just to making sure. Obviously, just to make sure they're not bringing weapons or other things. We did hear reports that, I don't know how many, but some of them had brought child pornography or something over the border, and that's obviously terrifying and concerning. I don't know if that was blown out of proportion or not, but it seems like a mixed bag, but ultimately it seems like Trudeau is now kind of going back on the incentive he kind of gave people to come here in the first place.
Yeah, we're also learning that a lot of people here are volunteering, helping out people here get processed. As you could see, the luggage is being carried away from them. There's shuttle services escorting these people to the stadium that they're all staying in. And even the local municipality here paved a road that used to be between the United States and Canada. That used to be a ditch. They paved it so more people could easily walk through. So what's going to happen with these influx of over 10,000 refugee seekers in Canada, it's still unsure. But the Canadian government has sent a clear signal, stop. This is not going to work. But at the same time, we'll see what Justin Trudeau decide with this influx of just so many people coming here seeking refuge away from the new tougher immigration policies that the United States has established. Taylor, do you want to say anything else on this matter?
I would just say that it seems like a lot of the reports initially that everyone was Haitian is false. Many of the people I've talked to say that it's a mixed bag of people coming here, predominantly Haitian, which is appropriate for them to come to Quebec as they're both French-speaking. But we see people from all walks of life. A couple of people we've spoken with alluded to a lot of the migrants coming from North Africa and even the Middle East. So I would say that there's a lot more to it than the media seems to make out.
Taylor, thank you so much. His video will be in the description below, so you can actually watch his coverage of this event. I want to thank everyone for supporting real independent media and allowing me to be here on the ground. If it wasn't for you donating and participating and sharing and liking and commenting, I would not be here. Love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching.